Java interview questions. In some banking application, if you have inserted principal amount for some persons and later if you decide to give some interest, then without accessing this application, how you can provide them interest which can get changed any number of time. Second one, tell me about your project. Third one, what is the need for use struts in your project? What is the need for use struts in your project? What is object? What are the advantages of using Hibernate? Why did you use struts in your application? Seventh one, what is the Ajax and advantages of it? Where have you used in your project? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about recent or current project. How many projects have you completed? Explain your latest project. Draw the class hierarchy of your project. Questions on the technologies of latest project. What are your roles in your project? Which was your previous company? What are your technical strengths? How many classes have you written in your project? Lazy loading was early loading. What is string? Why string is immutable? What is mean by collection? Tell me some of collections. What is array list? What are the differences between array list and linked list? What are the difference between array list and vector? What is hash map? I have a scenario. Student details like ID and name are stored in collection like hash map. Then how can I retrieve student details based on insertion order? Tell me about OOPS principles. Tell me something about exception handling. What are the different types of exception handling? What is the use of finally black in exception? I have scenario inside try black. I return statement. Then finally will execute or not. What is mean by finalize method and what is use of it? What is the difference between final, finalize and finally? What is mean by synchronization? What is the use of synchronization? What is serialization? Why we are using the serialization? If we are not using serialization, what happened? What is deserialization and what is use of it? What is static? What is the use of static in Java? JSP implicit objects. How you can handle exception in JSP? I have a returning JSP file. How can I include that JSP file into my another JSP file? What is load on startup? What is the use of in JSP? What is connection polling? How can you get connection polling in JDBC? Can I declare static variables inside servlet? If yes, what is the use of it? How can you write test cases for a class? I want execute test case always before executing of some logic. How can you did it? Tell me some test case free defined methods. Difference between C++ and Java. Difference between C and Java. Why is Java better than C++? Explain OOPS concepts. What is the use of polymorphism? What is the view of Oracle? What is the synonym in Oracle? What is joint trigger? What is left joint? Give an example. Example on group by. Write a query max salary from employee table department wise. What is Hibernate? What is Spring Framework? Which module you have work? What is application context? How to define primary key in Spring? What are the steps for establishing the JDBC connection? Why we are difference between statement, prepared statement and Callable statement. What is the store procedure? Difference between store procedure and function. Structure of class. What is static? Return type of main method. What happens if we remove static from main method? Can be override main method. Difference between collection and collections. What is the difference between try and catch? How will handle the exceptions? What is the difference between checked and unchecked exceptions? How to validate the fields in JavaScript? What are the implicit objects? Explain application context. Tell me your project architecture. What is the use of JSP include tag? What is the difference between list and map? How to sort the map values? Can allow the multiple try blocks? Explain IOC and MVC modules. How to call the JavaScript functions? How to handle the exceptions? Explain configure the bean class. Explain the mapping in Hibernate. Why we need annotations? What is the difference between servlet and JSP? Explain composite key in Hibernate. How to handle the exceptions in stored procedure. What is the difference between document gentleman by id and document gentle by name? Explain Hibernate architecture. Explain Spring MVC flow. What is IOC? What is the auto wire and how to use? When you are writing the JDBC program, what type of exception occurred? What is request dispatcher? Collections. Set list map and her differences. Array list possible array list synchronized. Using array list reverse order. Exception handling. Self introduction project. Throw and throws keywords. If we have two tables AB, A is having 10 values, B is having 5 values. Select from star from AB. That's it. These are the important questions from Java. Please note it. Thank you. Please like and share and subscribe and comment.